Yeah, hi there. These comments are for WS, and I am Michael from OTC Online TOEFL Course.com. And my goodness, this is the longest email from any TOEFLer this week. And if you're going to spend this much time, 360 words, telling me your story, I'm going to do a video helping you in your situation. I feel for you, buddy. So let's take a look at your situation. I can solve your problems. Now, I'm going to give you some feedback here that might be hard and it might be direct, but I'm not going to hide anything here. So, obviously you're not doing things correctly here. You would not have to take the TOEFL test so many different times and end up with the same score here. What is going on with that? Okay, it says I recently took the TOEFL exam. You want to say here maybe for the fifth time. I recently took the TOEFL exam for the fifth time 1 week ago and still did not get my target score. Your writing is not bad. I would just say here below are my score results. I'm sorry that I can't remember the subtotal score for the first and second attempt because I took the exam 3 years ago. So one way when you send writing like this and you send me over 300 words, this is also very helpful for me. Your fifth attempt was 66, second attempt was 55, your third attempt was 61, so 14, 15, 16, and 16 on the reading, listening, speaking, and writing sections. I really appreciate how you put all these subtotal scores together. The fourth time you had 71, 20, 16, 16, 19, and that was October 2019. So then we go about a year. It says the fifth attempt you had 16, 14, 17, and 21 for a total of 68, and you took this on September 3rd, 2020. As you can see, my score dropped in the fifth attempt. Even though I retook the exam over and over and over again and spent many hours for the exam, I still did not reach my target score. And that's the problem. Look at what you're saying here. Do you even realize what you're saying? What are we doing? What is going on here? Why are you taking the test over and over and over again? That's ridiculous. You have to solve your problems first and then you retake the exam. Everybody at YouTube, don't do this. You don't have to retake the exam over and over and over. If you do that, you will be in TOEFL hell. And you're never going to get out of it. So the problem is you're thinking too much about the TOEFL. What does this tell you? 61, 71, 68. It tells you that your basic English is not that great. You need to spend a lot of time on vocabulary, reading, the basics, listening comprehension, speaking to native speakers. You're spending so much time on the TOEFL exam, you're forgetting the important parts of learning the language. You must learn the language first, my friend, and then you start working on the TOEFL strategies and the tests and all of that. You're putting the cart in front of the horse. Stop. Don't do this. So I even quit my job last year to focus on preparing for the exam. I am frustrated, depressed, and almost gave up after getting my score result yesterday. See, this is the problem. You're spending too much time on preparing for the exam, not enough time on improving your basic English skills. Crap. Does anybody listen to me anywhere? You say, finally, I found you and your website while surfing the internet and how to improve your TOEFL scores in Quora.com. I need your advice for a TOEFL study plan which can help reach my target score. My target score is 90 and each subtotal score must be 20 and above because I want to apply for a master's degree in the United States. I can spend 6 hours a day. I want to retake the exam in December. Is it possible to reach my target score because I still have about 3 months? I don't know. there's a term that we use in psycholinguistics. You never want to hear me use this term, but you're asking me, and I have to be direct here. The term, it's called fossilization. Fossilization of language use. Sometimes you get to a certain level in the language, and then your brain does not want to learn anymore. And no matter what you do, you're stuck. You're fossilized. Now, you could have fossilization here. If you have fossilization, forget it. All bets are off. That's it. You're stuck. Right? Let's look at this. So 61, 55, that's about the same. 61 is about the same. Right? Now, what really worries me is not the score from August to October, but it's the fact that almost a year later, you're not even better than you were on your first attempt. So it looks like you've reached a plateau, you're stuck. And the problem is you're doing the same things over and over and over. Look at what you're saying. You retook the exam over and over and over and over. You spent many, many hours on the exam. That's your problem. You're spending so much time on the TOEFL exam, you're not focused on the real problem. You're not improving your basic English skills, vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. What have you done to improve those basic skills in those 7 areas? Forget the test. Stop taking the TOEFL test. Stop. Say, I will not take the TOEFL test again until I improve my basic English skills. Right? So here's my plan. Right? I think that if you use my 3-month TOEFL course, you need to supplement it with some basic things here. So let me give you some basics right now that's going to really help you. I'm going to tell you some really important things here. Number 1, I want you to read beginning today for 1 hour. I want you to read magazines, newspapers, and also books. Things that have nothing to do with the TOEFL exam. If it's a TOEFL reading practice test, throw it in the garbage. Don't read it. I want you to read real, authentic materials right now. Spend 1 hour every day. Remember, newspapers, magazines, and books. That's what you should be reading right now. Now, as you read those materials, I want you to take notes. And as you take those notes, do 2 things. 1, I want you to write a 250-word summary of that reading passage, what you read. Number 2, use that summary to give an oral response of what you have read. So now you're practicing reading, you're practicing writing, and you're practicing speaking. Number 2, for the next hour every day, you said it, you got 6 hours, right? Here's your second hour during the day. I want you to practice listening. Watch TV programs, news programs, science programs, history programs, and documentary programs. Again, if it's a TOEFL listening practice, don't listen to it. Leave it alone. Forget it. I want you to listen to authentic listening materials, things you actually have an interest in. Similarly, I want you to take down some notes and then use your notes to write a 250-word summary and then use that summary to give a 60-second oral response of that passage. So that's going to give you probably 3 hours a day right there. So if you're reading for 1 hour, you're listening for 1 hour, and then you're doing the reading or you're doing the writing and the speaking practice, that gives you 3 hours right there. So that's the first thing you want to do every single day. You choose the materials. Do not get them from my site. Don't get them from anybody's site. Find authentic materials that you can use to actually practice your real reading and your real listening. Now, yes, I think that my 3-month course, it might help you, but if you have fossilized, you're finished. If your brain has fossilized and it's no longer willing to learn, that's it. You're not going to make any improvements. Right? Now, what I'm doing might jumpstart your learning. It might help you break out of this wall, maybe. But I'm not going to give you any guarantees. But use my 3-month TOEFL guide, my 3-month course. That's going to give you balanced practice in 7 areas, my friend. We're talking about vocabulary practice. You must hit this really, really hard. Focus on the vocabulary. It's the vocabulary, stupid. Without vocabulary, what can you do? You can do nothing. You can't write, you can't speak, you can't read, you can't listen. If you don't have good vocabulary, you have very serious limitations in all the areas of the TOEFL exam. So hit the vocabulary really hard. And then practice the pronunciation, then the grammar, then the reading, the listening, speaking, and writing. My 3-month course will give you practice in all 7 areas, right? So let's look at what you wrote here. Reading. I'm very slow in reading. So the reading part of my course will help you improve your reading from 0 to 350 words a minute, problem solved. So if you're doing the 1-hour reading, you're doing that already, and then you focus on the reading part of my course, that will help you with your slow reading speed. It will help you understand conceptually dense reading passages. Problem solved. Okay, listening. I believe the listening is my weakest point. I have a lot of difficulty on concentrating the main points and note taking. Okay, the listening part of my course will help you with the strategies and the skills needed to perform well on the exam. Also, I have 40 listening practice tests to help you with very difficult listening practice. That's also good. Now remember, you're already doing 1 hour of listening in addition to my course, so I think we can solve this problem if you're doing both. Speaking. My pronunciation is bad. I guarantee you, you have more problems in pronunciation, believe me. You have problems in language use, problems in topic development, and then many problems in pronunciation. So the first thing you do with speaking is take my pronunciation pretest, and then I'll give you feedback on your pronunciation. So we can solve this problem. The question is, can we solve it in 3 months? I don't know. Okay, writing. I'm running out of topic sentences to support my ideas in independent writing, and my sentence structure are plain simple. I can solve all these problems. I have 40 independent writing practice tests. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests. I have a whole heck of a bunch of writing lessons to help you with sentence variety, being more concise, punctuation, and many, many other areas relating to your sentence structure and your grammar. So I think that we can do that. Remember also, when you're doing your 1 hour reading and 1 hour listening, you're already writing 500 words of summaries each day as you practice. So that's also going to help kickstart your writing in those areas. Okay, so that's it. So I think that my 3-month TOEFL course will give you excellent practice to help you improve your academic English, right? So I think that's going to be good. But you also have to do the other suggestions of the 1 hour a day reading, the 1 hour a day listening, and then that other hour you're writing and speaking about those passages, and then you're using my online course. I think together it's going to get you on track. Now, the key is this. Remember this. After you finish my 3-month TOEFL course, do not take the TOEFL exam. Stop it. Don't do that. You should take a practice test first, right? Take a full-length practice test. It's only about $35 to take a practice test, and then let's look at that. Let's see how you did on that. If the practice test shows subtotal scores of 20 or higher and all the subtotal sections, and you have a 90, then it's time to think about taking the official TOEFL exam. But remember, you will not improve your TOEFL score just by taking the exam over and over and over and over. Please stop. Anybody watching this video, don't just register to take the TOEFL exam. Stop. Think. Figure out what your problems are. Solve the problems first, and then register to take the test again. Come on. It's common sense, people. Right? Stop taking the TOEFL exam. Don't give ETS all this money. Forget it. It isn't going to help you improve your TOEFL. So hopefully everybody who's watching this video, you have some ideas on what works and what doesn't work. This does not work. If you do this, You will be in TOEFL hell forever until you identify, you solve your language problems, you improve in those areas, then you register to take the TOEFL, but only after you take a practice test that confirms that you are indeed ready to take the test. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I think I went overboard on this. I apologize. But anyway, I apologize for being too direct, but hopefully you get my point. All right, thank you.